Attention horse trainers and riding instructors. If you run your own business and call your own shots, or you want to quit your job and be your own boss, then this is for you. And this is your wake-up call. I'm on a mission to help as many horse-first professionals create both profitability and work-life balance, and my system works. It works for Maggie in California. It works for Aaron in Florida. It works for Steph in Colorado. It works for Lauren in North Carolina. It works for Kent in Texas. It works for Travis in Utah and countless others. I am heartbroken from all the stories I've witnessed of broken families, of horse professionals working 80 hours a week, every weekend for decades, no vacations, with very little financially to show for it. And the sad truth is that many professionals can't be there in person. They can't provide as much financially as they would like to. Despite being great human beings, they're working their asses off, they're trying their best, and I believe that is a leading cause behind the countless broken families in the horse world. In my opinion, if you work full-time running a business and you're part of a family, you have to bring a minimum amount of time and money to these relationships or they disappear. Even if you do bring time and money to a relationship and a family, you still could fail. It's hard, right? But no time, no money, it's unsustainable. Love is not enough. And when everything collapses, the relationships are gone, the property is gone, it's turned into tract housing, the horses are gone, and eventually you might not know where any of your horses actually are. That horse that taught you everything, more than just how to ride. Do you even know where he is and what happened to me? Can you look me in the eye and tell me you're 100% sure that none of the horses you've loved ended up in Mexico and potentially slaughtered, right? We can't afford to retire them all. But when you don't succeed financially in your horse business, it's devastating, not just for you, but also for your family, your partner, and horses. It's time to figure this out. It's time that horse professionals hold each other to a higher professional standard and run their career with the same level of professionalism that other industries require. Otherwise, these other industries, they're going to take our horse properties. I guarantee you that our horses will black beauty themselves throughout the world into God knows where. It's no longer funny that you can't use a computer. You've got crappy internet, can't figure out software or create a business plan. You don't understand how to raise money. You don't keep financial records. You don't know how to market yourself. You don't know how to sell yourself. You don't know how to actually hire, fire, train, legally and compliantly pay and run a small team of A players and horses that make the numbers work. It's no longer cute. You don't have a documented training. You don't have a documented riding philosophy, lesson plans, no intellectual property. It's no longer okay that you can't read a financial statement, your taxes. You don't know how to invest money. You feel like your mortgage lender is speaking Greek. So let's talk about the business model mistake that most horse trainers are making and the solution that is right under your noses and what my financial model looks like for a horse-first profitable business and how we help people like you quickly implement and benefit from it if you feel it's right. So the biggest mistake that horse trainers and riding instructors make is over-focusing on existing horse owners and under-focusing on lesson horses as their primary client avatar, future horse owners. I think that the average financially healthy horse-first riding school should have about half of their revenue from horse owners and half from a fully delegated lesson horse program. And here's the problem with over-focusing on horse owners, under-focusing on lesson horse clients. Problem number one with horse owners: it's a small targetable audience. You are in it all day, every day, and you might think the horse world is a big world, but it's not. Go to the grocery store. Tell me how many of those people are horse owner target clients. When you see all the people driving on the freeway, how many of them are actual target clients? Go to the mall. Try to get a client. The target market is so small for horse owners, it's practically non-existent in the grand scheme of things. What percentage of people own horses? Right? I don't know, 1%? What percentage of horse owners live geographically close to you? What percentage of those people ride in your discipline? Now, what percentage of those people can actually afford to pay you a nice amount? And then what percentage of those people that are unhappy with where they are? And let's just say you probably should be charging around $2,000 a month for board and training to even be profitable. That's a big decision for a horse owner. It's going to be a long sales cycle. It's a needle in a haystack and a long sales cycle. That's a big problem for a business. Now, why is lesson on lesson horses different? If you've got the horse, the equipment, the instructor, the facility, all they have to do is show up, and their first lesson is only $75 with no commitment, you're almost marketing to every human being in your geographic area. You can tap someone randomly in a grocery store, and if you're persuasive, you could probably make them a client. I once had a client call a wrong number when dialing leads from their ads. She said, "Hey, first name, I'm calling you about your inquiry for horseback riding lessons." The lady said, "You've got the wrong number." "But wait, did you say horseback riding lessons? I'm actually interested." Now that random wrong number is one of her best clients, right? It's a huge targetable market audience, right? It's a game changer. Try wrong dialing a number and getting a horse trainer into full training. Problem number 2 is there's a weird culture with horse owners. So even if you find someone who's perfect for you, you know you can help them, you know do a great job for them, you're a great salesperson, and you call them up and explain why working for you would be better. You could say, "Look, there's nothing wrong with the trainer you're currently working with. I would just love the opportunity to respectfully compete for your business." If another business coach calls one of my clients and said the above, word for word, I would not consider it unethical. However, if you do that in the horse world, the local trainers consider it poaching, and they will do everything they can to make your life miserable. So you just have to sit there and wait and hope someone asks you to dance. I don't know about you, but if your family's depending on you, I don't like the idea of sitting around and waiting for someone to ask me to dance. I want to do something proactively. So why is lesson on lesson horses different? It's fair game. We turn ads on full blast. Our only limitation is how much arena time, lesson horse time, and instructor time we have to offer. But once you learn modern marketing and sales strategies where you run paid social media ads, the prospect gives you their email and phone number, and your team and your software automatically follow up them via text, email, and phone. And you just handbook them into a $75 intro lesson, see if it's a good fit. Nobody considers that unethical, and you don't get canceled by the local horse trainer mafia. Problem number 3, horse owners are highly sensitive about who they ride with, and they're generally extremely high maintenance. If I bring my horse to your stable and I train with you, I agree to pay you $2,000 a month, and the next weekend your assistant is riding and teaching me, we're going to have a problem. And you know I'm right about this. That means that even if you do get 20 horse owners paying you $2,000 a month, it's usually a lifetime death sentence of having to work almost every weekend for the rest of your career. It's a pretty big sacrifice. Turns out that yes, horses are cool. Yes, horse people are cool. But there are actually other ways to spend a weekend, like traveling, spending dedicated quality time, focusing on your own family or your own kids instead of other people's kids. So why is lesson on lesson horses different? These clients are much less sensitive about who they ride with. At the time of this recording, I currently have $14,917 in monthly reoccurring revenue from my lesson on lesson horse membership from my riding school in Maryland. I live in London now. I have a manager in place in Maryland. I'm traveling the world with my own kids, and the only time I teach is to one of my own 3 kids. My kids used to watch me teach other people's kids on the weekends. Not anymore. And remember, adding a fully delegated lesson on lesson horse program thoughtfully into your existing business that focuses on horse owners is actually synergistic. It's not an either-or situation. I like to put my clients into a situation where they can pay all their bills and make a profit from a horse-first, fully delegated lesson on lesson horse program. That way they can pick and choose which horse owners and horses they actually want to work with. They don't have to take everybody. And guess what? No more hoping and praying that a local quality horse owner asks you to dance. Now you've got a built-in feeder program, and you can create future horse owners with your Lesson on Lesson Horse program that are a perfect culture fit for you. Okay, so now let's just say you agree with me and that you want to thoughtfully blend the perfect allocation for you between horse owners and Lesson on Lesson Horse clients. For some of my clients, they want 50-50. Some want to do 100% Lesson on Lesson Horses. For me to take you on, I would want you to be open to at least 20% of your revenue coming from a delegated Lesson on Lesson Horse program that can be a profit center and a feeder program into your other horse owner offers. Here is how we would help you execute this. I have broken down all the components of running a program into the following categories. You've got your facility. You've got your pricing terms and conditions for everything you sell. You have your marketing. You have your sales system. You have your software. You've got your curriculum, your human team, your horse team, and your financial systems, which includes things like your bookkeeping, banking, financing, taxes, insurance, etc. Everything that a riding school does should fit into one of these categories. And I call the sum of all the systems, philosophies, playbooks that I have created for myself and for my clients, my Horse First Riding School Operating System. I call it Horse First because I want to make sure that every riding school I work with has 4 Horse First pillars in place before maximizing for profitability. I want to see rules around horse usage, no running lesson horses off their feet, horse care, proper feeding, farrier, vet, etc. Education. I want to see riding schools teaching kids that these are sentient beings to be respected and not dirt bikes with fur to win ribbons on. Horse retirement. What is your plan for this animal at the end of its career? If you have thoughtful answers to those pillars and proper rules and constraints in place, we can then maximize profitability after that. So I believe that my Horse First Riding School Operating System is second to none, and I make it better every single day. And my rate of improvement is also increasing. So if you worked with me a year ago, we've got some new things for you, that's for sure. The end goal is that a horse trainer or riding instructor should not have to do anything except teach or ride or oversee the actual care of the horses. My team can manage the facility, oversee repairs and maintenance, do the marketing, scheduling, website, and software, client communications, billing, sales, insurance, bookkeeping, and taxes. Basically anything that is not working with a horse or client. We're not quite there yet, but that's the goal. Right now, horse business owners are spending such a huge amount of time on all these mundane things. They're stuck behind a computer, they're scheduling, they're stressing, on their phones. They've lost the actual magic of horses. If you want to see what working with next level horse businesses would look like today for you, then book a call with my team. Tell us exactly where you are right now and where you want to be. And we can go from there. If you're a quality person and you want more time and money for your family, then I can't wait to see what you can do with these tools. It's time to roll up your sleeves and execute. I can't wait to see what you accomplish. No excuses. Play like a champion. The operators of the horse industry need to wake up, professionalize, and hold each other to a higher business standard. This is your wake-up call. Thank you.